Welcome to the Find My New Life podcast. I'm Christopher Lapine, spiritual liberation author and speaker. This podcast brings you inspiration, hope, and answers for how to live a modern, God-centered spiritual life. It will help you have a more direct, deeper experience of God, find more happiness, and live your incredible God-given destiny. You can find all my podcasts, as well as videos, books, and more at findmynewlife.com. So, let's get started with today's show. Hello, I'm Christopher Lapine. Welcome. What if you had a new, reliable, comprehensive source of information on the life of Jesus that answered every question you have about Jesus and his original teachings? Think of it. How would it change your life? And if it was presented to you, would you be open-minded enough to even consider it, to explore it? If the answer is yes, stay with me. I hope you do. I'm going to share that source with you in this new series, The New Jesus Revelation, the Pre-Christian Angelic Records. You can answer every question you have about Jesus and find his original teachings. Angels wrote an amazing book, and I'm going to share it with you. Now, I understand you've got doubts. I absolutely understand, and it makes sense. If you're a critical thinking person, if you don't just accept everything you've been told, you're going to have doubts. You need evidence. You need something. The challenge is that sometimes our prejudices can get in the way, and that's why I really stress an open mind as you go through this series with me. That's the most important thing. I'm not asking you to blindly accept everything I'm going to share with you. Not at all. But I do ask you that if you're really curious about more, if you have a hunger, open your mind. Open your mind to at least consider what I'm going to share with you, because I think it's quite astounding, and you're going to just find it fascinating and enjoy this incredible series. Now, the challenge is that we've got a lot of written records on Jesus, mainly the Christian New Testament, that we've had for millennia, over 2,000 years. We have some Roman records, Jewish records. We've got some records in Islam, other books. We have the Apocrypha. We have some of the Gospels that were not included in the Bible when they put the original Bible together, the New Testament, at the Council of Nicaea. So we've got a lot of information. People have read this for years, and yet we still have this incredible hunger about Jesus. No matter how confused the world gets, no matter how complicated it gets, this hunger for Jesus seems to be there at all times, which is really interesting. And it's been growing in recent years as our civilization has been just so challenged and so strained by all the complexities of modern life. And I think disillusionment with churches. So we have to go beyond the records. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Make no doubt, Christianity has done the world an astounding service. And the early Christians who were sincere, early Christians who sacrificed their lives in remarkably painful, horrible deaths, just sacrificed everything. They are to be commended. I mean, they're heroes. They're incredible people. Now, a lot of people are well-meaning, have problems, they go off the path, they make mistakes. But so Christianity, Christians, I want you to know I appreciate you. I appreciate what you have done and do for our civilization, our planet. But make no mistake, there are issues with Christianity. It is gradually imploding, and a lot of the new growth in it is from new people who are hungering, but oftentimes they fall away later. So we're going to go beyond the records. We're going to go beyond what you've been brought up with to give you something new. We're at a point in history where we need more information. We need to go beyond the New Testament. Some people call this progressive revelation. Whatever you want to call it, it's based on the assumption that you have a loving God. If you assume that God truly is loving and wants the best for you, then you can open your mind. If you don't trust the Spirit within, if you don't trust God, then this is not going to be as fruitful a journey as you would have hoped. So just think of this and stay with me here. Let's assume these things. God loves us beyond all measure, and He gives us everything we need to grow spiritually, to expand, to move forward as individuals and also as an entire species, the human race. We have reached a point in history where we have exhausted all those original written records. We need more. We're hungering. We have more questions. We're very sophisticated in our technology. Our civilization is straining and cracking and eating away at itself. A lot of the traditional institutions we don't trust anymore. We're in confusion. Frankly, we're getting desperate. So I'm here to say that God, because He loves us so much, because He's always there and cares, and because He put that hunger for truth in all of us, He's going to satisfy it. Doesn't it make sense that a loving divine parent would help his children, would help her children? Our loving Father God, our loving God is going to give us everything we need to progress. And so whatever your conception of God, male, female, neuter, whatever, God is a loving, self-conscious being and has our best interests at heart and has a plan. And that's where this new source of truth is coming through, which I will reveal later in the series. It's an interesting journey we're going to go on together. So join me, please join me. You'll find that it will open up new possibilities in your life, give you new hope, a new relationship with God. And the revelation I'm going to share with you is an absolutely astounding book, which has a very large portion of it dedicated to the life of Jesus. Basically, it's a biography written by angels who were there at the time. That's why I call it the pre-angelic Christian records. Okay, remember what I said about an open mind? Let's keep the mind open as I bash the microphone, but keep your mind open, please. The records I'm going to show with you are approximately 750 pages on the life of Jesus, birth to death, missing years, missing travels, missing friends. What was the family of Jesus like? Did he have brothers and sisters? What was study like in school? How did he develop as a young boy, as a child? When did his powers start to emerge? What was his relationship with God? It goes on, and we are going to hit all of these. What did Jesus think of perhaps the Romans or Jewish culture? What were his original teachings? What did he think of the apostles? This is what we're going to go through in this series, greatly expanded. If you're Christian, you're very, very familiar with the New Testament. If you're not a Christian, you may be aware of it, but the New Testament, the most important part are the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, two of them written by apostles of Jesus or the followers of apostles of Jesus who wrote these later. These are incredible works that much of Western civilization is based on. They're really astounding. So what we're going to do with this new revelation is use a lot of that as a starting point and expand with the new information. You're going to see the bridge between the Gospels, Gospel accounts, and this new source of information. And I promise you, it's going to be everything you hoped it would be. It is not going to take a wrecking ball to Jesus. It's going to expand our understanding of him. You are going to be absolutely thrilled with what you discover about Jesus, and it will amplify and electrify your spiritual life if you have an open mind. I absolutely promise you. So you're going to get clear answers. You're going to get truths in this comprehensive podcast series. I promise you. Again, you'll learn about all the stages of his life and look at his most fundamental teachings. So I want to talk a little bit about what I'm going to be bringing you in the coming weeks. So I ask you to please keep an open mind, trust your inner spirit. This will be an astounding and liberating journey of discovery. If you feel like you're unsure, that it might be a little scary, I encourage you to take time with God, pray every day about it, and listen. talk to your friends, talk to your pastor, whoever, but in the end, it's most important to listen to God and let your mind be opened. Please, whatever you're seeking, be open. Okay, so this series is split into two parts, 1 and 2. Part 1, the original pre-Christian master and his suppressed teachings. And then there's part 2, the complete pre-Christian life and deep teachings. So part 1 is going to talk about who Jesus was, his original teachings, what happened with Christianity and how it departed a bit from the original teachings and the effects of that. And part 2 is going to give you the complete spectrum of his entire life. And you're going to learn about all the key events and travels, places. It's going to be an amazing, amazing ride. And you're going to get his fundamental teachings and teachings that were not shared with the crowds or the public. These teachings were shared directly with the apostles. You're going to look at this astounding piece. You're going to learn about who Jesus was before he came here. You're going to learn about his true nature, his relationship to God, etc. But you're going to have many, many quotations from Jesus and from the angels in general about him. And I promise you, it's not going to be confusing or really weird or just opaque or hard to see things. It's going to be just an absolutely refreshing, astounding ride. I've been reading this book, for 45 years. I found it in my senior year of high school. And I can tell you, it has done nothing but improve my life. And it is the privilege of my life to be with you here now, wherever you are, whatever you're facing in life, to share this book that did so much for me. And I promise you, I'll do the very, very best job I can for you. I'm going to keep studying it and give you the best that I can from it. But I may make a mistake here or there, but I'm going to give you the source of this book. You'll be able to get it and read for yourself. And in the end, you have to make your interpretation. I don't want to spoon feed things, and I don't think you want that. So let's go on that amazing journey. So what are we going to look at in this series? All right, part 1, section 1, the limitations of Christianity. The challenges, what happened. Section 2, the direct steps to Jesus. You want to know Jesus, you want to experience him. What do you have to do in mind, body, and soul to have the fullest experience of him? Who is Jesus? Human, divine, mostly human. Where did he come from? All of that. We're going to get into that in the who is Jesus section. The next one, the original teachings of Jesus. We have bits and pieces, we have fragments, we have sayings throughout the 4 Gospels. But we're going to go a lot deeper. We are going to base it on exact quotations from Jesus, direct quotations which the angels have given us. And that's going to take us on an astounding journey. And the teachings are going to be even more wonderful than what you already know. And then the last section of part 1 is living with Jesus without Christianity. Again, this is not meant to tear down Christianity or criticize Christians. But what we want to do is remove Christianity for the moment and let you consider the teachings of Jesus and the experience of Jesus directly. And then if you're part of a Christian community, go back to that community with new understanding, new inspiration to help your group. Or if you're not part of a Christian community, maybe you'll form your own group of people studying. But whatever happens, this will help you to select. Maybe you make your own group of friends, or you will be better able to pick the right one that has the values that you want. We know that there are surveys that are recently done that say people basically have a very good opinion of Jesus and want to know him, but they're not so sure about a church. All right, let's get into part 2, and that is the complete pre-Christian life and deep teachings. We're going to go from birth to death to resurrection. the entire spectrum of that 33 or so years, almost month by month, because that's the kind of detail you get with a new revelation from angels, which is 750 pages long. It's going to be an absolute astounding journey. Astounding. So the first section I'm going to have is the roadmap of Jesus' life. And this is really, we're talking about the main swath of Jesus before his public ministry. That's really the first major segment of part 2. Jesus before his public ministry. So the roadmap of Jesus' life. Okay, what are we going to tour? We're going to give you that. Next is going to be the childhood of Jesus. Birth, early years. What was that like for him? What challenges did he have? Did he get sick, etc.? Did he have friends? If so, what kind of friends? There's a lot of amazing things we can learn. The adolescence and early adulthood of Jesus. That's the next section. Again, following the progression of Jesus through his life with the lens of, how did he develop? Because he had some divine in him. Was it special? Was it different? Did he kind of experience what we did? What was it like for him? And then the later adulthood of Jesus. That's the last section of that first segment. Remember, the first segment is Jesus before his public ministry. And the last part of that is the later adulthood of Jesus. So it's everything leading up to the public ministry. Then next section is the matchless public ministry of Jesus. We're going to look at baptism and the public ministry preparations that he made. We're going to look at the first public ministry and the transfiguration. Transfiguration being an amazing event that revealed the full nature of Jesus to 3 of his apostles. Then we're going to get into the final public ministry, arrest, trial, and death of Jesus in great detail. We have many quotes. I have so much I'm going to share with you. I'm absolutely thrilled. And then after that, we're going to look at the resurrection and future with Jesus. How did the resurrection occur? Was it real? Who were the witnesses? How did that story get started? Why were so many people convinced there was a resurrection? There's a lot going on there. And what are the implications of that event on yourself personally and all of us? Again, an astounding, scintillating ride. And then the last section is living with Jesus today. Now that we've seen, we know who Jesus is. We know about him in his public ministry. Before it, we know all about his life. What does that mean for each and every one of us today? How do we change our lives? How should we be living? What relation do we have to each other? What relation do we have to churches or institutions or groups? How should we place our loyalties? How do we balance all that? How do we balance work, family? How do we grow? And what relation does this have to government, political party, race, etc.? We are going to look at those things in living with Jesus today. So that's going to be really the end of our journey. But I can tell you it's months and months away because I'm going to take my time with this thing. I promise you, I'm going to do the very best job I can for you. And I'll be looking for your questions and comments. And I will give you the very best I've got on this. But I want to leave you with a couple astounding quotes I think you're really going to enjoy. And these are quotes from this new angelic pre-Christian record. And here's what we have. From the angels. Of all human knowledge, that which is of greatest value is to know the religious life of Jesus and how he lived it. Of all human knowledge, that which is of greatest value is to know the religious life of Jesus and how he lived it. And that's what I'm going to present in this series. And you are going to have direct access to the very book that I am reading as I go through. Here's another fantastic quote from the angels. The modern age will refuse to accept a religion which is inconsistent with facts and out of harmony with its highest conceptions of truth, beauty, and goodness. The hour is striking for a rediscovery of the true and original foundations of present-day distorted and compromised Christianity. the real life and teachings of Jesus. Wow. That's what you are going to encounter, the real life and teachings of Jesus. And I can promise you that if you are in sync with that spirit within, it's going to guide you and you are going to be open. If you have an open mind, it's going to be astounding. All right. The last quote I'm going to leave you with is a quote directly from Jesus, recorded by the angels. They were there observing. This is what they recorded. That which the world needs most to know is, men are the sons of God, and through faith they can actually realize and daily experience this ennobling truth. My bestowal should help all men to know that they are the children of God, but such knowledge will not suffice if they fail personally to faith grasp the saving truth that they are the living spirit sons of the eternal Father. The gospel of the kingdom is concerned with the love of the Father and the service of his children on earth. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely blown away with just those quotes. I've been reading this book for 45 years, and every time I hear it, it's just astounding, especially from Jesus. Amazing quotes. And I'm going to give you tons of them. Many, 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 many. I'm going to show you how to find them. You're going to be able to delve into each and every element of his life and compare it, experience it for yourself. There are no barriers to that. So every episode, we're going to answer more questions, get into more quotes. We're going to take our time here. I'm going to take my time with this. So please join me in this incredible podcast journey. Find the answers about Jesus and a new kind of life, the one he meant for you. That's really what you want. Join me on this journey. I promise you it will be life-changing if you are open. Even if you reject most of what I have to share, it will again be a wonderful experience with your spirit within that will reveal new truth to you as you interact with me on this journey. So I'm going to go back and get to work and get you that first episode coming out in the coming weeks. It might be a little while, but I really want to do my best. I have a full-time job like I think most of us do. I'm still working away, so it's going to take me a while, but I promise you I will do my very best for you. So please, please, I ask you to join me on the journey. Click and subscribe to be notified as I release these new videos about the new angelic Jesus revelation. And please share this with your friends if you find value in it. And please always remember, you are a child of God. We are family.
Thanks for listening today. I hope it helped you on your journey. Go to findmynewlife.com for all my podcasts and much more. If you'd like to contact me with ideas or requests, use the Contact Me link on that website. I wish you the best on your spiritual journey. Remember, you are a child of God and we are family. You could claim an amazing destiny. See you next time.